about we just there is no time in quarantine.
Nice.
Really?
Hi.
Hi.
Hail, you are this little girl's hero in every possible way.
You're my hero. You know that you can dance 100 times cooler and better than I can? It's not fair.
You want to do a little dance for us?
At a wedding, you were freaking killing it.
Thank you.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That was fun, right? I love you.
Love you.
Say love you. She wanted to make sure that come. So is that my? It's like muffled and like repeating. Is that my end?
Oh my gosh, is that better?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I keep doing this thing where like, okay, so I have like this setup to try to hold my phone up, and I keep forgetting that it's like an iPad on a computer, and then I keep like placing my phone down on it, and it kills the sound. And it's happened like a bunch of times, and people are like, hello, are we in a tunnel? And I just realize every time I'm like, oh, it's the freaking thing I keep trying to do. Oh no, that's not the light either. So we went to bed super late last night, and we woke up late today, and there's Oscar.
Oscars.
Oski Poski. So I woke up and I had some food. Oh, don't do that, please. I had some food, and then I did a workout and had some work calls, and now I'm here with you. It's been my day so far.
Aww.
Yeah.
What were you guys doing at 4 a.m.? Were you watching a show?
We were watching Friends. Oh, I made Justin watch the movie Notting Hill for the first time yesterday.
I'm obsessed with that movie.
He refused to watch it for like the longest time. Well, he didn't refuse. I kept asking him, and he like wasn't into it, didn't want to watch it. So then yesterday, we actually got into a fight about it a couple weeks ago. And I was like, you don't care about anything that I care about. Like, I always watch movies that you want to watch. And you're like, oh, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'm like interested and I want to see it. And then I felt like he didn't care about the movies that I care about. So then yesterday he's like, do you want to watch that movie you really wanted me to see? So we watched Notting Hill. And I'm pretty sure he was like kind of bored. I don't think he loved it.
I went to Notting Hill with my wife in the theaters.
It's one of the best movies of all time.
All time. Babe, you have to come say hi. It's Hales. She has yesterday's mascara on.
Like under my eyes. It's so bad.
It's quarantine. Hi, Chell.
Quarantine. Hi. Oh my
Love
gosh,
you.
I love you.
I love you so much.
Only
I miss you guys
I
so
don't-
much.
I don't think you realize how much we love you, Hales.
I don't think you guys realize how much we love you.
Okay, can I do rapid fire questions?
Go.
Rapid fire questions. I'm going to
Yes.
say one word. This is how we'll get it going. I'm going to say one word, and then you just say whatever comes to mind.
Oh no. Okay.
Deal?
Deal.
Okay. Vogue.
Like, am I okay? Wait. Pause the rapid.
Okay. We'll restart.
Am I supposed to say like, like if you say Vogue, I'm like American Vogue, or am I supposed to say like my favorite magazine or my favorite like?
It's
supposed
kind
to
of
be
like yeah. So like, I'll say one word like marriage, and you'll say like meaningful.
Or like the first thing that comes to your mind.
First thing that comes to her mind. That's my co-host.
Okay.
First
Okay.
thing that
I got
comes to
it.
your mind.
Okay. Continue.
Okay. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Marriage.
Best thing ever.
Yes. Fashion.
Oh, my job in a way.
True. And you crush it. How about trendy?
TikTok.
I knew it.
Oh, you knew it.
TikTok is so trendy, Judah.
It is. How about dancing? Since we're talking about TikTok.
I love dancing. I love dance and watching people dance. I know this is not one word association. I'm sorry. It's hard.
No, I like this. It's better. Yeah. And, how about hobby?
Hobby. Current hobby, playing chess. I'm learning how to play chess.
I don't even know how to play chess.
Have Justin teach you. He'll beat you every time.
Well,
He's so
that's
good.
pretty normal. That's pretty normal. How about this is 2 words. I realize hidden talent.
I think it's not so hidden anymore, but people know I can open the beer bottles with my teeth. And I joked on Jimmy Fallon that that's why, like, Justin married me. That's not why, but I said that that's why he wanted to be my husband. It might be a little bit of a reason.
Okay. Another two words. Date night.
Well, currently, movie night would be date night.
Movie night.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, actually, wait. I got to talk about this really fast because I think you'd
Please.
be super. Well, you probably already know about this because Justin talks to you every day. Justin set up a date, like a quarantine date night the other night, where he set up. We live on a lake here in Canada, and he set up like at the like shore of the lake, big bonfire, blankets, food, like charcuterie board, wine, and like took me out on our little rowboat to as the sun went down. We drank wine, and then we came back and we just like listened to John Mayer and drank wine by the fire. That was
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and he was all him. I had no idea. It was a surprise.
He's such a romantic. Okay, tell us, since we're on that topic. Sorry, I just made Gracie cold. What is your personality type? Have you done any of the tests, the Enneagram?
Oh, like the Enneagram?
Yeah.
I think that I want to say is 8 makes sense to be a type 8.
Yeah.
I want to say that's it, but I'm not sure. It was either type 4 or type 8.
I forget the definitions though.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm 7.
You're a 7? I think I'm an 8.
How at 11 years old does she know what she is?
Yeah, I forget. I did like all the extensive testing too, and I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense for me. But it was either like I was a 4 and an 8, or a 4 or an 8.
I
But
think
8,
it's like there's like it's like 8 wing of 4, or there's like 4 wing of 8.
yeah, I think you might be right. She knows more than I do. I don't know.
Hey, so here's the question. What gives you energy and what depletes you of energy?
So what I feel like depletes me of energy is like worrying and having anxiety or putting myself in positions or having conversation. I think also having like charged conversations deplete me of energy. So like if I'm like arguing with someone or I'm having like a very intense work discussion or something that I feel like takes a lot. And I'm also a talker. I can talk a lot. I love to talk, especially if I've had like a little bit of wine. I'll just keep talking, keep going. I'll talk all night. So I feel like that can deplete me of energy. I think something that gives me energy is obviously coffee. Even though we've been trying to quit caffeine.
Like so literal?
Like so literal caffeine. Something that gives me energy too. I feel like I've actually been having the most energy in quarantine, and that's probably because I've been sleeping so much and just doing things like having more time to read and get outside and do things where I'm just like, wow, I don't feel run down. I don't feel run all over the place at all. And I don't know if that makes sense or if I sound.
Yeah, that makes a ton of. And I'll say this: you and my wife Chelsea, there are so many similarities.
I know.
I actually wish. You say you talk a lot, but actually you're very calculated and very careful and very intentional with your words and statements. I just like talk on and on and on and kind of figure out what I'm trying to say in the moment. I feel like what you have to say is so insightful. And you're like Chelsea, you know these inside data, information, statistics, storylines, news. So here's a question we have for you, Grace and I. What is the most interesting piece of information and or news you've heard lately? I know, another hard question. Sorry.
The most interesting piece of information that I have heard so far.
And interesting can mean also, I mean, there's so much grievous information as well. I mean, so it can be just kind of whatever has stuck out to you.
Well, I feel like I'm a researcher, you know what I mean? Like I love to do research, and I love learning about, I like to know information, like you said. Like I like to know what I'm talking about. You know, obviously every single day that we wake up, there's a new statistic on what's going on in the world, and you know what. I think first of all, in the last couple of weeks, even just learning about what this virus is and what it does to people and how it affects people differently and how interesting something can affect different people so differently. That's what I think has been so interesting. It's like one person barely has any symptoms, and then one person is fighting for their life, and it's like, why is that so? What are the differences? Why is one person, you know, able to, you know, I have a friend who has the virus, and she barely feels anything. She's like completely fine, and I always wonder, like, you know, it's so interesting that this one person has this array of symptoms, and then this person has, you know, a tiny little tickle in their throat, but then they test positive. It's just, I think watching the way a new virus works is so interesting and scary and complex, but, you know, I've been just trying to, like, learn about it as much as I can and try to understand it as best as I can, because I also think that can help, for me, that can sort of help me understand it better. Like, okay, it's not just, now I feel like I understand it more, and I have more information on, like, why it's so serious or why it's affecting people this way. And, you know, for me, I'm like, I'm waiting for the day and, like, praying and hoping for the day when they're like, we figured it out, and, like, we found a treatment, or, you know, the vaccine is ready to go. And, you know, it's just been so interesting watching everything unfold, and obviously also really sad.
It's we just got a package delivered, and the FedEx guy, who's heroic, and we're very grateful he's still doing his job. He came in kind of just in the back door here, and we saw him, and I was like, hey man, and he's like, hey, how are you guys? And I'm like, good. Hey, thank you for delivering the packages. Are you safe? He's like, I'm staying safe, man. And, like, I don't even know this person, but I wanted to run over and just hug him.
Right.
It's such a weird time because we just seen someone from the quote unquote outside world. I don't know. Do you feel like things will be different when this is all over?
Mm-hmm. I think
how do you think they'll be different?
Well, just because I think that this virus is just going to it's going to just exist. And it is still really new, and people don't, you know, I have so much respect for all the scientists and the doctors and the people who are working on trying to find something that can treat it or that can help, you know, lessen some of the symptoms, or, you know, hopefully just find a treatment, an antibiotic that people can take, and it will go away, and a vaccine. You know, these people are really on the front lines of, like, trying, you know, that is not an easy job. That is, like, true, like, scientists going at it, going to town, trying to figure this out. And I'm grateful for their brains. I'm grateful for, you know, their knowledge, and obviously all, like, the doctors and the nurses and all the people in the medical field that are putting their lives at risk as well. I just think that once it's even safe to go back outside, like, the virus is just still going to exist. So how do we live in a world where we know this virus does exist, and how do we try to navigate getting back into some form of normal life, just knowing you can still catch this? It's not just going to, I mean, as far as I know, I don't think it's not going to just, like, die out in a month or two. And even if it did die out for the summer, they're pretty sure it would come back when the weather got cold again. So I think it's just about trying to figure out how to live knowing that there is this virus existing in the world.
And
that changes everything for a lot of people.
And that just makes us even more fragile, and we recognize even more how this life is just the fragility and the brevity of it is so hard to even ascertain, isn't it? Like, it's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, it is. And it's, I think it's a huge wake-up call for sure. Yeah. And it's, I mean, I've never lived through a pandemic before, and it's just, I think I'm impressed by how I think humans are trying their best to adapt.
Yeah.
For the most part, I know there's people that didn't take it very seriously and still aren't, and I think that that's a shame that people still aren't, thinking that this is as serious as it is, because it's so obviously a very serious thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just think it's we're gonna have to just continue adapting.
Have you, Hales, during this time, have you had any kind of new ideas or things that you want to add kind of post-pandemic, which we're all, gosh, I hope those words go together real soon in the news, post-pandemic. Post-pandemic, do you, like, is there an idea you've had in terms of, it could be your line of work, it could be something outside of your normal line of work. Has there been an idea that's come to you like, wow, maybe, this is something that I could do to add to people's life, post-pandemic? That's kind of putting you on the spot, I realize.
No, that's okay. I mean, I think that this time has given me the space in my brain to feel like there's been so many things that I've wanted to do and maybe perhaps haven't felt like I had the time or have gone out to find the resources to get it done.
Yeah.
And this time has allowed, I mean, it's not even allowed me. It's like you have no other choice but to sit there and be like, it's actually been really beautiful. I've been able to sit and just be like, this is such a big goal of mine. I really want to get this done. I really want to, pull the trigger on this thing or this situation or this idea. And I've had so much time to just be able to get on phone calls with people and say, I want to make sure that this is happening when we are in post-pandemic.
Post-pandemic, yeah.
When all of this is over. And, I think I've been able to have some of the most efficient and, productive conversations and ideas that I've had in the last 2 years of my life because I've been able to have the space in my brain to think about it.
Wow.
And so basically, to answer your question, yes, there is a lot of things, not a lot of things, but there's things that I've been wanting to do for a really long time that I actually finally was able to really jumpstart in this process.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel the same way. And I think it's, in that regard, it's a excruciating opportunity, but an opportunity nonetheless, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a question for you. You're 23.
Mm-hmm.
This little blue-eyed wonder is 11.
Yeah.
Let's say it's your 23-year-old self talking to your 11-year-old self. In the middle of a pandemic, you're 23, going back in time now to tell your 11-year-old self something. What are you going to say?
Well, I would say not be scared.
Oh.
I'm sure, Gracie, that you're probably not even scared because you're the coolest and you're so brave. And I would never even expect you to be scared. But also, I feel like this is a time that can be productive and fun, right? Like, you're not in school. I would probably have been so happy I wasn't in school at 11. You're not in school. You are hopefully having fun. I would say just try to have fun and not get anxiety and not worry about not worry too hard about what's going on. And I don't know. That's difficult because I don't know what I'd be feeling at 11. I'd probably be oblivious at 11 and be like, I don't even care about what's not even that I don't care. I don't think I'd understand fully what was going on.
Yeah. And you would be proud. Hey, this girl has done an amazing job. She's been thinking about the world and thinking about people. But
Sorry.
If you, Hales, if you could change one thing in your teenage years about you could change one thing, what would it be?
Okay, so in my teenage years, my parents gave me the opportunity to be, they gave me the option to go to real school or to be homeschooled. And obviously, they only gave me the option to go to like a Christian school that was far away from my house or to be homeschooled. And my older sister was already going to be graduated by the time I got into the high school, so she couldn't drive me. And I would have had to take the bus every morning. And it was like a 40-minute drive with like, it was just, I don't see why you would give a teenager the option.
Right? We blame your parents now.
Yeah, I'm like, Mom and Dad, I don't know why you would have even let me decide for myself. So I decided to be homeschooled for all of high school. And I think I regret that decision now as an adult. I wish that I would have chosen to go to real school and to just finish it out with other friends and other people and not go like, I feel like choosing to do the homeschool thing was a little bit lazy on my part because I didn't even enjoy it.
Well, I will say this, Hales. I don't think you've been lazy a day in your life, but I appreciate the sentiment.
But you have teenagers, and teenagers can be lazy. So
even a 11-year-old can be lazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We talk in baby talk sometimes because I still live in regret that this girl's grown up. Okay. Here, when did you? How should I say? What's the first song you heard Justin sing?
Probably, like that I ever heard like on the radio of him.
Yeah, ever.
Probably "Baby."
Do you want to sing us like a little bit of it right now?
I hate you. Or what was the one? Oh, I'm gonna tell you one time. That was like the big
one time.
Yeah, that was probably the first one I heard of his.
What's your favorite song all time?
Of his?
Well, I was gonna say in the history of the world, but we're hoping it's his.
Oh, favorite song of all time?
All time.
Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Whoa, that's so layered with so many feelings and emotions. I love that. That's
my
your
favorite
personality.
song. I think so. It's also my favorite song to try at karaoke.
Oh, perfect. Okay, here we go. Let's hear a little excerpt. You can hide behind Oscar while you do it.
No. You can sing it.
No,
I'm just a poor boy. I'm not the singer in the relationship, so whoever.
Do it, Hales! Don't stop! Grace encourages.
No, I gave you an excerpt.
I'm just a poor boy.
Yeah. Do you know it at all? We saw that movie together. We saw the Queen movie together, didn't we?
Oh my gosh, that was a good movie.
That was great. And I felt like it was interesting because we talked about it after, that it was so different watching a movie about an artist and their process with an artist. Because I'm sure that Justin saw it very differently than we did, but I thought that was fun and interesting, and he had a lot to say about it at the end. So.
I just wanted to hug you both so much after that movie.
I know.
I was just like, it's a miracle. That was a really good song. Okay, what's your favorite of your husband's songs? All-time favorite.
It'd be hard for me to pick one because I think that obviously he has a lot. I can't pick one, so I'll say like a couple.
Okay.
From the new album, I like ETA.
Oh, what's your ETA? Yeah.
And then also from like that Journals album, I like All That Matters, because I feel like those are kind of in a similar vein. And what else?
I got a deep track, Hales. Do you like Backpack with Lil Wayne? Stay in my backpack forever.
The fact that you know that
it might be my favorite all time.
I like that whole album, to be honest. I really liked the Journals album. It came out at a time where I had just gotten my license. Like, It was a fun album for me at the time. At the time, it was great. I'm trying to think of like what would be funny stories that we could share. When was the first time I ever met you? Do you remember that?
Man, that's a good. Had to be New York City, right?
At Hillsong, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I just remember meeting you for the first time, and I'm going to be really, really honest right here, right now. I remember meeting you for the first time thinking to myself, that is probably the most regal, strong, well-spoken, considerate, well-mannered young woman I've ever met in my whole life.
Thank you.
I'm
It
not
must
even
have been.
joking. And I also had thought, this is no word of a lie, I pray that my daughter will grow up to be like this. Hales, it's the absolute truth, as God is my witness.
Thank you.
That brings us to, I remember a story of Justin calling me, talking about you, saying, I think we're just going to get married. And I remember I was actually picking her up from school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the parents' line, and I think actually you were on the call as well. And I was like, why wouldn't you marry this angel from heaven? Like, bro, this is what we like to call a no-brainer.
I remember when we were in
Do you remember?
I remember when we were in Australia, and Uncle Justin called you and said that he just proposed to Aunt Hailey.
That was a good
Oh,
one.
my heart. Aunt Hailey.
We were all excited. We cried a little bit. I cried a little bit.
Yeah, you did cry. You did cry. Wait, I remember we came to stay with you guys when we were just like dating again in Suncadia, I think.
Suncadia, yeah.
Yeah, and we were just, I remember, I'm like, I was like, it was so in the beginning, and I kept trying to figure out, I'm like, you know, he obviously, when we got back together, he's like, you know, Judah and Chelsea just think you're the best, and like, I'm like, are they like advocating for him to be with me? Because I love that. Like, are they like behind closed doors being like, she's the one? Because let's go. I was happy about that. So I guess my question would be like, what made you think that we were right for each other? After the fourth saga went down between the two of us.
Honestly, it was really natural, and it was where you are strong, Justin's a little weak. Where you're a little weak, he's strong. And it was just like, man, I remember all of our friends and things, just looking at the two of you thinking, that's going to be such a dynamic combination. And you're just going to make each other the best version of each other. And I'm not going to lie, I definitely like looked around and I was like, wow, there's a lot of similarities that Hailey has to the person in the world that I think is the greatest human being I've ever met. So I married her.
Right.
And I see so many of those same qualities, you know, in you that I just admire so much. I wish I was more like that. I feel like you are such a good listener. You're such a good learner. You're so good at eye contact. And I just figured that would be like the most, like the dynamic duo of you and Justin. And it's true. It's held true. I'm telling you, we knew it, didn't we?
You knew too, Gracie?
You knew too?
I always felt
Why did you
like,
know?
How did you know? Yeah, tell me, how did you know?
I knew because God spoke to me.
Oh, sweet. I don't deny that. That's true. I think that's so possible.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that I felt like, you know, obviously through every phase of mine and his relationship and friendship and everything, like I stayed, you know, going to your guys' church, and I think sometimes when you're, you know, split up from somebody, there can be awkwardness. You can feel like people take sides, and you can feel like there's tension because somebody's someone's friend group and somebody is somebody else's friend group, and you guys never made me feel weird about, you know, being, you know, that church is obviously not the place for drama and politics in that way, and You never
Right.
made me feel like it would be weird for me to be there, even when we were broken up and even when we were, you know, not together. So I love you guys for that. I appreciate
Oh,
that.
we love you. Just
That was a hard time.
add value to everybody in the room. Can I ask? There's 99 questions on here for you.
Right.
We'll have to find one that I'll ask you. But before I do, if there are people watching right now and they're like, particularly in quarantine, how post-pandemic can we come out of this and be more considerate and a better listener and add value to people? Is my breath so bad? She's like leaning away. Can you give us any like cues? Or I've watched you in so many conversations in so many social settings, just play such an important role to add value to people. Do you have a trick? Do you have like a cue or a key that we can use going forward to do that more in social settings?
Well, I think I've always been I was a really social kid. Like, I was weirdly well spoken for a young child, and people always used to say it to me and to my parents. Like, I would use these like random really big words properly in all these different sentences, and it was only because I think I just would retain things well. Like, I'd hear it one time and reuse it in another sentence, or like I don't know, I just feel like I have good like just like retention memory. Like, I'll read a word one time and be like, oh yeah, that's what that means, or it's associated to this. So I think that I've always had social skills, but they definitely developed more and more over time, because I think when you're for anyone, you go through a phase where you're trying to figure out who you are, and it's not always easy to feel super confident in settings that can maybe make you feel pressured or nervous, or being able to just be a teenager and walk into a room full of people and have to be on your game and well spoken is not something that I think always comes the most natural. And it did for me to a small extent, but it grew and grew and grew over time. So I think that I just always remember, I mean, I care about what people have to say, honestly. Like, sometimes I think it's hard when you're having conversations with people. You might not always care what they have to say, but you don't have to make somebody feel like you don't care what they have to say. It may be hard to pay attention and to hear what they're saying and to be like, oh, I have to be somewhere, I don't care about this conversation. But just remembering, like, if that person was making you feel like what you had to say didn't matter, how would you feel? And I think a lot of social skills is like putting yourself in the other person's shoes and thinking about, how would I want to feel respected in this situation? How would I want them to be looking at me in the eye? And I think you notice when people don't have those skills and they make you feel not important, or they make you feel like what you're saying doesn't matter because, maybe their mind is somewhere else. And I obviously don't think I've been, like, I've been in situations where my mind is somewhere else and it's hard for me to pay attention, or somebody's on their phone. I just think it's being conscious and thinking, okay, also after this like pandemic, if you don't leave this having the thought of, we have absolutely no idea what can really happen tomorrow, and all we really have is a moment with someone, or a moment with a stranger, or a moment with a loved one, because this has obviously proven how fast things can happen, how quickly people can be taken from us. I think just remembering that even after this, and being like, you know what, we don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. Let me give this person my attention and really hear what they have to say and really be in conversation with them. Because especially now, we just never know.
You never know. And honestly, Hales, if there has ever been a situation where I've been around you where you weren't interested in what people were saying, can I just say for the record, nobody could tell, and I couldn't tell. That's just not your way.
So I feel like I just love people, and I just, like, I love being social. It's like so a part of who I am, and not everybody feels that way. There's people who have really bad social anxiety, and that is something that a lot of people struggle with. And I think that's that sucks. And I think I've been in situations where even I feel like I'm a hugely social person, and I've experienced social anxiety, and I've gotten very uncomfortable in big social settings, or but it's something I've fought through and gotten out on the other side of in a few different scenarios. But I'm a social butterfly. Like, there's no other way I can put it. I'm the person that loves like running around a party and talking to people and like bopping around and meeting new people. And one of my favorite things in the world is just like getting to know someone random in a random setting and then like never seeing them again. Like, hey, I met this lady today at the supermarket, and like, she was, I love finding connections with people. So if you're talking to someone random and you're like, yeah, like my grandma actually grew up 20 minutes from this place in New York, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I lived close to that place. It's just like there's always these random connections that I think you can make with people, and it just takes effort to be like, what are you into, or what do you believe in, or what's your favorite coffee order? Yeah, I love that. I do too. I just love connecting with people. And my dog.
Scores.
Asky.
I think in a lot of ways your life is a message to stay curious. I think you're genuinely interested and curious about people's life and story, and I think it makes you someone who adds value to people. And I think we could all develop that a little bit more, couldn't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it's harder for others, for some people, than it is for others. But I think also as time goes and you grow, like that comes with growth, and that comes with hello. What? Babe, I'm on live with Judah.
We're live, man. What did he say?
He said, what the heck? Babe,
You hear what I said?
Judah told a really crazy story about you.
Did you hear what I had to say?
That you had to pee?
I had to pee like a Russian racehorse at a Kentucky Derby with a meat truck tied behind it.
What the meat truck?
I'm going to pee and then I'll come and join you fools.
Yeah.
All right. Look forward to it. Hey, Hales, they say my voice is echoing. Do you have the phone down on the
Oh, is that my fault? Yes, I do. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
I was ruining
The
it
voice
for
echoes
everyone.
for some reason, and I'll turn down my volume.
Um,
Hey, do you want to sing any, just before he gets back, do you want to sing a little bit of Baby? Like just a little bit? Baby, baby, baby. Oh.
No. Man, those kinds of jokes and things are just gonna follow me for the rest of my life. I've realized now.
Oh man! Hey,
He's really peeing for a really long time, by the way. Like, it's kind of crazy.
That's pretty amazing.
Thought I'd share.
Favorite model all time, Hales?
Favorite model of all time is
Is
Christy
that unfair?
Turlington.
Ooh,
Christy
say it
Turlington.
again?
Christy
My
Turlington?
favorite model of all time? You.
Me?
Yeah.
Aw. That's not true.
Tell me the story.
It is true.
He didn't say anything.
You didn't tell us.
He just said how he thought, and he knew I was just like so perfectly perfect and amazing for you.
Check out this swing.
One more.
I'll do a real one. I'll just mess with
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Crazy ground.
I love you so much.
Teenage-
Hey, you held the pose?
Did you spill on yourself?
I spilt on myself. I'm gonna drive him crazy.
No.
Over the
Please
front.
don't show that.
Okay.
Okay, so what are you guys talking about?
We've just been chatting about life and
Been pretty amazing.
me and Judah's friendship. How we're best friends.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Scared the crap out of me.
Oh, you're gonna take this over?
Yeah, what's the deal, guys? What's been going on in your guys' relationship? What do I need to know?
Well, Hales and I just connected about things like adding value to people, encouraging people, how to be a better listener, stuff like that.
Yeah. So were you guys like in like a serious vibe, and did I come in and like ruin it?
Well, we were having some fun. Yeah. I mean, did you ruin the whole interview? Not the whole
Maybe.
thing.
Not the whole
How do I
thing,
get rid
but
of
part
this?
of it.
I tease you.
Let me just
get rid of
swipe
that?
down. I don't know, it might be frozen.
Oh,
there you go. So you're just talking about how adding
anything you
value
want
to
to
people's
ask
lives
us together, Judah?
For sure. The most underrated part of marriage. Go.
The most underrated part of marriage is probably...
Don't say something stupid.
No, I'm not. Probably just waking up next to that person every day.
Oh.
Like having her to roll over and hug is the best.
It is fun starting your day with another person.
Isn't it? I woke up to Chelsea cleaning our entire room today. And she'd been up for 2 hours, but Chelsea's thing now is she won't get out of bed until I do. So she sits there and reads until I wake up.
How come?
That's sweet.
Because she wants to get out of bed with me. So she picks up and stuff, and then she waits for me to wake up. So I woke it up.
A real good wife would have got out and made you breakfast in bed. That's what I think. I think your wife's slacking.
But
Yeah,
wait,
right. I've really never done that for you ever.
I'm doing intermittent fasting right now, so I don't eat till 3 every day.
I was gonna ask you about that. What is your thoughts about fasting?
Oh, like for spiritual reasons.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's a way to let your body know who's in charge, and it's not in charge.
Got you.
Don't you think like it's like an exercise to be like, my spirit and soul's in charge, not my body? I don't know.
I guess maybe. I don't know. I gotta really think about that. I've never really done it. I think our bodies need nutrition to think properly.
I believe in
Personally.
fasting off of a thing. Like, I think if you want to fast off the TV or fast off of a phone,
Ooh, that's even better.
I believe in that more than I think fasting off of food, because I don't know, it's never really made sense to me, to be honest. I don't know.
When you fast food, you're really depriving your body of nutrition.
Or if you're like, I'm fasting sweets or fasting sugar.
Fasting something that's not going to deprive your body of good stuff.
Why do I feel so much shame now?
We just totally like, we're like, yeah, Judah, you're stupid.
Hey, would you guys do just like a little duet for us?
Of what?
And I will always love you. I will always love you.
Face? Yay!
I loved it. That was my favorite.
Just trying to choke me out. Are you gonna sing?
No.
Yes.
No.
He go. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Can't believe I get to live this life. Can't believe that I found my wife. Oh damn, what a hell of a night. What a hell of a night. Hell of a night. Can't believe that I found my wife. Can't believe I get to live this life. I recorded a really cool song today.
Which one?
Let's hear it.
I can't play it because then
Sing a snippet.
I can't do it.
Which one?
What's it called?
It's called Anyone.
Oh,
You did not.
I did.
Anyone? It's this song. I love this song so much, and I haven't heard him sing it yet, so I'm excited.
Oh, that's so cool. So
Where are your kids at?
they are. Zion's playing 2K. Grace was just here a moment ago. because her hero is Miss Hailey with all of her heart.
Can I say hi to them?
Yeah, here we go. Let's go. Let's go say hi to them. Baby. Yeah, I gotta. Hey guys, Uncle Justin and Miss Hailey want to say hi.
Hi guys.
Just playing cards. What are you guys doing?
Play cards.
Cards?
Yeah.
What card game?
313.
What's that?
We've played that with them before.
Fun, easy card game that everyone plays.
Yeah, we played it before with you guys.
Yeah, we played it with you guys.
I think I tried playing it, but I was over it really quick. Who's all there?
The Smith and the Waters, Wall Hill.
Nice. That's awesome. Who's winning?
Me.
Oh, Gray Ray.
Grace said,
I'm winning.
Are you really?
No, I'm not even playing.
Steven's there?
Hey.
See Max there?
Yeah, Z Max, come say hi to me, Max.
Show me your battle star.
Oh, he said he's getting a shirt on.
No, C-Max, show them your battle star.
Yeah, Z-Max wants your battle star.
Z Max, everyone wants to see what happened to your chest. Yeah, your battle scar. Oh, I love you guys so much.
Bro, like we're blessed.
What good
We're so
timing
glad.
we
Say
caught.
hi.
Hi.
What's up, dog?
Hey, L dog.
What's poppin' with it, bruh?
A wolf.
What's
What
really,
happened?
What's really good though, bruh?
A wolf.
A wolf?
A wolf right there, yeah.
What happened? What happened? A wolf? A wolf got you?
He slipped and fell and hit the corner of like a countertop.
Damn.
Oof. That doesn't sound fun.
Damn.
Bro, it's we hide out in our room a lot right now, okay?
Yeah.
Just let them do their thing.
Yeah, exactly. What are you guys gonna do for the rest of the day?
Do you want to play chess? I want to play chess.
Yeah, probably play chess and then kiss a little bit. The usual.
Play some chess.
A little bit. I don't even know
little
how to
bit.
play chess. Never played chess in my whole life.
I told him that you've been teaching me.
Really? That's probably why you're.
Okay, careful.
I love you guys to the moon and back.
Love you
Let's go
so
play
much.
chess, babe.
We're gonna go play chess. But
Okay,
this
go
is
play
really
chess.
Fun. I'll
wanna
go
go
on
play
live
cards.
with you whenever.
Okay, thank you so much, Hales. That was so much fun.
Love you so much.
I love you too.
Oscar loves you too.
Okay, Oscars. Oscars is my favorite dog. Tell Ride Good I said that.
Judah's favorite.
That's not what you said last time, bro. You're you're a liar is what you are. Because last time you
We said
Walter's
Walter was your favorite when we were all in
You
Palm
said Walter
Springs.
was your favorite. Now you're saying Oscar is your favorite. Make up your mind.
Well, it's actually Walter. I lied to you guys.
Not nice. Oscar has better breath. His breath is not as stinky as Walter's, so just keep that in mind.
That's actually a good point. Rise dogs can get a little stinky.
Oh man.
All right. I love you
so
guys
much.
so much. Hey, let me know who wins chess.
Okay,
I will.
it's gonna be him, but we'll let you know my improvements today.
Okay, all right.
Okay, love you, Judah.
Bye. We love you.
Bye, Gray Ray. Love you so much. Have fun.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh man, guys.
On to here, and you can put filters on.
Oh, we could do filters. I'm going through changes. Doesn't mean that I changed. I'm going through changes. Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. We going through changes. Doesn't mean that I changed. I'm going through changes. Doesn't mean that I changed. I am going through changes. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hold the phone with me and my friends. Hold the phone with me and my friends. And my co. Okay, love you guys. Have a good day.